Hi there, today we're looking at the biggest stack of books I read in 2012, adult fiction, so I'll try to make it fast. The Golden Apples of the Sun by Ray Bradbury is a collection of short stories, and if you like Ray Bradbury and short stories and science fiction stuff, you could check it out. It was okay reads. I reread Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close by Jonathan Safran Foer, and you should check this book out if you haven't. As you know, Jonathan Safran Foer is one of my favorite writers. I also reread The Time Traveler's Wife by Audrey Nivenegger, and I love this book. If you haven't read it, just give it a go. I love it. The Legend of Sander Grant by Mark Phillips is a story of a giant farmer, and it's surprisingly interesting and a nice read. All My Friends Are Superheroes by Andrew Kaufman is the book with the ugliest cover I've ever seen, but it's just so cute. It's very short, it is amazing. Buy it, try it, read it. Naked Heat by Richard Castle is mainly a book that's only for the fans of the show. I don't think it's good crime fiction, and it's mainly entertaining because you can see the references and the things from the show in the book. I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive by Steve Earle was a little bit disappointing. It has very good descriptions of being a drug addict and what it means and how you feel and how the world looks then. But other than that, I wasn't very captured by the story. Sea of Poppies by Amitav Ghosh is the first book in a trilogy of an epic voyage from India to China, and I think there's something of the Poppy Wars going on. But it didn't happen in the first book, and look how big that one is. The End of Mr. Y by Scarlett Thomas was a surprise read. It's a strange and crazy book, but I loved it. I was just so sucked into the story that I just couldn't stop reading. The Sense of an Ending by Julian Barnes is a short book again, and I really enjoyed the writing, and it gives you something to think about. The Tiger's Wife by Theo Obret tells an interesting story about the Balkan countries after the war and during the war, and there are some interesting characters in here. Stiff Upper Lip Jeeves by P.G. Wodehouse is the first book I read by P.G. Wodehouse about these characters, and I think they're very interesting. I definitely should read more. How Did You Get This Number by Sloane Crosley? It's a collection of essays or stories of her life. They're kind of funny, but not that funny and interesting. It's a nice read, mainly about New York, so for New Yorkers probably more interesting than anyone else. Death Sentence by David Lodge was not as hilarious as it was promised to be, and it was rather slow. I kind of liked it, but not that much. A Visit from the Goon Squad by Jennifer Egan was a very surprising read for me. It has many characters and they are all connected, and the story plays in different times of their lives, in the past, in the future, in the now, and I really love the style of writing and the story itself. The Timekeeper by Mitch Albom is a fable about Father Time, and just as with all Mitch Albom books, I loved it. Go read it, go check it out. The writing style of this book is really special and I enjoyed it so much. The Behavior of Moths by Poppy Adams talked more about moths than I expected. It's the story of two sisters and how they grew up and their relationship and things there. It has a twisted ending, I like that. Beatrice and Virgil by Jan Martel is a really interesting story, and I like the way it is written. It has a play in the story because this author goes and tries to help a fan write his fiction, and the story that the play is telling is really interesting and deep. Portrait of an Artist as an Old Man by Joseph Haller. I loved this book. It was so amazing to see this old author try to write one last bestseller, and you read all these tries at a novel at the beginnings and then how he just discards them again and starts all over. Loved it. Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck is a classic and I really enjoyed it, and it's short, so pick it up. It's really good. The Hippopotamus by Stephen Fry is an interesting read, and it has a lot of topics of miracles and beliefs and basically life things. It was interesting to read. It has a lot of British language in there, I can say that. A Madman Dreams of Turing Machines by Jana Levin is about mathematicians. If you don't like math and you're not interested in two crazy mathematicians, don't pick up this book. The Opposite of Falling by Jenny Rooney was rather slow and I really didn't like it that much. The Transformation of Bartholomew Fortuny by Ellen Bryson sounds good, looks good, was rather boring. It's about all these freaks in a show in New York and their relationships to each other and things like that, and yeah, I was rather disappointed. The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I didn't like it as much as I expected. I think the writing and the descriptions and everything is really awesome. What I just didn't like was the story. I wasn't interested in all the characters and what was going on. Nevertheless, the writing is great. That's the adult fiction I read in 2012. If you have any recommendations, like your favorite book that you think I should check out, leave a recommendation. And thank you all for watching. Bye bye.